Listen, you're not listening, can you get fuck off?
I'm knocking on the other doors, mate.
It doesn't matter, just fuck off.
I'm from the media.
Nobody wants you in the building, fuck off.
The what?
Just fuck off. Get out.
No.
My name's Charlie. Welcome to Unfiltered Lives, The Other Side. I was an addict and an alcoholic for over 30 years, and I've been recovered, sober and clean for over 2 years. And today we are going to be reacting to a YouTube video that's really close to my heart. This YouTube channel, this young documentary maker, is called Having a Shocker. And he goes inside Scotland's roughest housing estates. Now, the reason this is really personal to me is he goes inside my old housing estate in Paisley in Scotland. Let's have a look, let's react, and let's see what's inside.
K3. Big killy boys, man.
Kelly boys, I know.
Yeah, but you should try hard in school, man.
I get kicked out.
You got kicked out.
That's wee fat cunt.
Selling drugs and still.
Wait, that hangs, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna move that side, mate. I'm gonna move that side. What do you think that is, the police?
Side of the post or a fire engine.
Fucking hell, lads. So do the police bother you a lot, like?
Aye.
Yeah.
It's a fire engine.
Fucking hell. Oi, oi, oi. Do you lads carry anything or no? You don't carry anything?
This is best.
Yeah, man. You good, bro, yeah? Bro, I'm gonna get off. I don't want to fucking deal with the police, man. Safe, yeah? Safe, lads. Dickheads. Just threw a gas bottle. Joke, man. What's going on there, mate? I just walking through, I just seen a fucking big fire, mate.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Bunch of guys just there.
Yeah, fuckeries, man. They're all wearing masks and stuff, mate.
Yeah,
Balaclavas, scary, bro.
They think they're clever, don't they?
Yeah, scary, man. Safe. What's sad about the whole situation is, like, I understand it. They're from this poverty-stricken area. They actually haven't got anything, and they were starting to see me as a target. Like, they wanted the stuff off me. But you don't need to attempt to rob someone.
Wow, this is real rough stuff. This young documentary maker from Having a Shocker has gone into one of Scotland's roughest housing estates, Kilmarnock, which I know very, very well. And for me, I honestly think he's took his life in his own hands here. He's gone into Kelly at the dark of night. And you know, as he walks away after the fire, I think he realises he's in serious danger here. You know, someone throws a bottle at him. And for me, he's really, really lucky. I know these housing estates. I was brought up in these housing estates, and I can absolutely guarantee you 100% that these young lads have seen him as a target. You know, he came into their territory with all his gadgets, all his documentary making stuff, his phone, his camera, and I will guarantee you these young lads have seen him as a target. His equipment would have been used for drugs or alcohol, and he's been really, 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 really fortunate, in my opinion. Now, let me tell you, if this young documentary maker came into my housing estate in the 90s, he would have been fortunate enough to leave his clothes on. He wouldn't have had his trainers left if he had have left Figgy Park in the 90s. But you know, I don't condone violence. And I'm glad this young documentary maker has went into Scotland's roughest housing estates to show you people what this is actually like in these housing estates. This is real life. This is gripping stuff. Let's react to the next part.
The following day, some friends I'd made, Aidan and Craig, had agreed to show me around one of the most run-down estates in the country.
Like, you know, the lack of housing as well. And
these could be put to use, but
yeah,
they're not.
man, like,
Especially for people like me as well. Like, I've been looking for a house for months at this point, like 8-9 months I've been on the waiting list.
Yeah.
Nothing get her back. But if these were still up and running, I could have got one of these like that.
yeah, man.
It's as if they're all fucking ruined.
Oh, they are, mate. How long does this go on for? There's more rolls down there.
Missions.
It's just a big codfish.
Yeah, no, man. This is insane, man. So they used to be like flats, yeah.
Aye, so it's like one would have downstairs, one would have upstairs.
Yeah.
Aye, that's the closest anybody stays, that house over there.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, it is genuinely right next to houses that people still stay in.
So do people like avoid walking through this like estate at night, or?
Probably not anymore.
Yeah.
So these two young lads are taking the documentary maker through my old housing estate. My old housing estate was called Feddersley Park, Feigie Park for short, or Feigie. And the reason I'm smiling at this is because he's walking through a place called Tannahill, which was just streets away from where I lived. I lived in the old big tenement buildings where there was 8 families and there was 8 of my families in one close, and the tenement buildings stretched for absolutely miles. Now, the way he's walking through here with these two young lads, he's walking through a place called Tannahill, as I've already explained, and these were the kind of posh houses. These were the houses that you wanted to live in. You didn't want to live in the big tenements. These had front and back doors. They had gardens. You had a garden of your own. You had a front gate of your own, which was unheard of when I was growing up. So these properties that he's walking through now were really sought after. And what I find really, really sad about this now is you can see they're all dilapidated, they're old, they're falling apart, and I'm quite sure they're just about to get knocked down. Let's carry on reacting.
Huge compound of all these flats where people are squatting, but even the shops, mate, even the shops abandoned. It's like this town, this like apartment complex has just been forgotten. Like, okay, so I've just found a way in, man. I don't really know what to do, mate. I'm fucking shitting it, mate. And like, have you ever had that feeling in life where like you feel like being watched, but you don't know where from? Got that feeling the whole time. Dave, John. Dave. Hello? 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 Obviously someone was living in there.
Oh my God. Have you ever watched something where your heart is in your mouth? Now, this is in Port Glasgow, which is just along the train tracks from Paisley, where he's just been. So he was in Kilmarnock, then he went to Paisley, and now he's in a town called Port Glasgow. And I'm watching this. I'm intrigued by this young documentary maker and having a shocker. You know, it reminds me, have you ever seen the film 28 Days Later? Have you ever seen that? There's this big rough house in the States, dilapidated, there's not many people in it. And can you believe that there's people still living in these sorts of places in 2024? This is a real powerful documentary. This is, I am intrigued by this. The young lad's going up the stairs with a stick, and I'm watching it with pure anticipation. Let's carry on. This is fabulous.
Oh, okay.
Right, the council own half the houses here, or just over half. The rest are all private houses, so they're all waiting to sell them.
Yeah.
Or waiting for the council to make a good deal to buy them.
I couldn't imagine living with the fear of burning alive, having my windows smashed, or being broken into, all because the council are not willing to pay me what my property is worth.
I'm not saying it's the children doing it, but these are going on fire 2 or 3 times a week. You know,
okay.
And it's going to take that one time that they set on fire, somebody stuck.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Or it sets the other flats on fire.
Absolutely,
yeah.
that's the worry. So we check this maybe 4 or 5 times a day. There's 2 families in the last one. There's one down there, and then down 18 like on the left hand side. There's people staying in there, but apart from that, the place is empty.
The place is absolutely dilapidated. The place is run down. It's obviously been used by drugs or alcoholics or whatever it's been used by, you know, and you can see there's all sorts of rubbish about and stuff like this. And then 2 security guards have rolled up in the car, you know, and they've basically said that there's still families living in this dilapidated housing estate that looks something like 28 days later, that looks like zombies could come out of the house. It looks that grotesque. And to me, this is what real life is about. This is why I react to these real life documentaries. Because this is actual life. This is what people are putting up with. In 2024, there's still people living in dilapidated squalor housing estates in Scotland. It absolutely blows my mind. Let's carry on a wee bit further.
Hiya, I'm making a documentary. I just wondered if you'd want to chat about why you don't want to leave the flat. I'm making a documentary.
Not interested.
Oh, okay. I'm knocking on the other doors, mate.
It doesn't matter, just fuck off.
I'm from... Wow. It's a shame.
You know, this is real life. This is why we react to these sort of documentary, mate. And this is how we react to these documentaries. You know, he's knocked on the chap's door and they do not want to answer the door. He's a stranger in this dilapidated, poverty-ridden housing estate, and he's basically been told to fuck off. We don't want any media. We don't want any outside, anybody in. In actual fact, I'm not even showing you my face. I'm not going to open my door. I do not want to be on your documentary. This is what this chap is basically saying, and has told him to fuck off, take a hike. And you know, people are living like this in Scotland, in the UK. This just isn't, man, a one-off. This housing estate in Port Glasgow is not just a one-off. Let me guarantee you, these housing estates are all over Scotland. Squalor, poverty, lack of investment. But well done to this young man documentary maker. But you know, he got told to do one. He got told to do one. Let's carry on.
I had the pleasure to speak with two gentlemen who had seen Scotland change over the past 60 or so years.
Virtually every major industry that this place had is gone.
Absolutely.
And Kilmarnock will be the same. And I'll bet you go down south, most of your cities all over the place.
Durham.
It's the same.
Have a look at Durham.
They're just wiped out completely. Decent, valuable jobs. So people don't have hope. They don't have hope. They've got nothing to lose behaving badly. Nothing to lose. Why? What are you going to do to me? You know, what are you going to do? You're going to lift me. I get that, Mark. I'm not going to get to where I want to get out of the type of employment I'm in.
Well,
and we did this.
Traditionally amongst the working.
And I've just been listening to these two older gentlemen in Paisley High Street, where I was brought up. These two older chaps who are talking about the state of the nation, actually. They're talking about the state of Scotland and the state of society. And I can't add too much into what these two old chaps are saying, because I'm smiling from ear to ear. They are spot on in everything that they say. There's been lack of investment, not even that, there's been no money. And what they're basically saying is, well, no wonder the young people are behaving the way that they're behaving. They're not looking up to politicians. Why should I look up to a politician when the politician will not help me? Why do I look up to any member of authority when they don't respect the younger people of today's society? These older chaps here are absolutely spot on, and I take my hat off to them. The lack of investment in towns up and down the UK is deplorable, in my opinion. Most towns in the UK, especially in my opinion in the north, have been left to rack and ruin. Lack of investment, higher inflation, high fuel prices, high food prices have left us all wondering what is going on in the UK today. And I am going to leave these last words to these two older chaps in Paisley High Street, where I was born, where my family is born. Thank you for listening.
Class education was the road out. Education was the road out.
Of course, for us.
You would go to night school. You could have a labouring job, but if you could go to night school, you could study, and from that gain certificates and move on.
Yeah.
We have a college down the road there that doesn't offer any night classes, neither for recreation nor for self-advancement.
And I don't think the uni does either now. I don't think the uni does either.
That's a scandal. This is a scandal.
Public scandal, and that all comes down to lack of investment.
Lack of investment
by government.
Yeah.
We live in a wealthy country. I mean, let's face it, we're not living in a country that's poor. We're one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Mm-hmm. Over the period of COVID, the wealthy have got wealthier. Hugely. I mean, these are not just my numbers. Go to the ONS, you'll see it. Stacks of figures where the rich will get richer and richer.
Yeah,
and how do they do that? They do that at the expense of the poorer.
I think that's part of the reason for the youth being upset, because they're no silly. You don't have to be, highly educated to know when you're being shafted.
Yeah.
And they look at the people that run society today, and they realise these people don't care for us one iota. Why should we care for them and their institutions? F them. That's basically it.